I do love that.
That's me.
What is that?
I'm not telling you.
Will you tell me if I don't tell anybody else? Stop it.
Yeah.
Sombr, thank you for being on Switched on Pop. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so you've said before that you listen to your songs hundreds of times before releasing them.
Yeah.
Let's listen to Back to Friends one more time. So when we hit play now, what do you hear that tells you this song is still alive, that it's not overworked, that all of that work that you put into it lets it still exist as the raw original thing that you wanted it to be?
I feel like every time I listen to that song, it doesn't get old for me. It's just a really special song to me, and like I'm never gonna like take one of my hits for granted. I wouldn't be where I am without that song, and it's like I'm just like grateful every time I listen to it. And I think that song is also just like such a feeling for me.
What's the feeling?
The beginning of a life. Like that song started a new life for me.
You went from being a high school student to being a rock star.
Thank you.
I mean, you got the bandana, so.
Yeah.
Where does this track begin? How do you know it's finished?
So I started it in my bedroom, and what I did first was I made a drum loop, which is the drum loop you hear on the song today, and then I laid down those piano bass notes that you hear in the intro and throughout the song, and that's what I played first. It was just that, and I was like, oh, well, you know, it's very simple, but this is really vibey. What came next is just I picked up my Les Paul, and I just played the one chord that goes throughout. So we have that, and then that you also hear in the intro, and then it also is under the chorus. So I have that, and I'm like, wow, this is such a euphoric soundscape. It's just such a feeling. It felt so special, and I really think writing music is like, it just depends on how deep you're feeling. It doesn't matter what comes out. If you're feeling that thing, whatever comes out is going to be the right thing. So I was feeling that thing that I felt whenever I've written a groundbreaking song for me, and the verse just came, like I just mumbled out the verse.
Do you do like a little mumble track, you don't quite have the words, and then you write the words, or do the words come at the same moment? So
I produce the beat, and I'll usually like know what the syllables need to be. It started as talking to your mother. It was just the first thing I thought of. So it's that ta, and then it turned into touch me kinda tender, and then it turned into touch my body tender. I always have like good intuition, like with like the syllable that flows the best, or vowel, whatever the fuck. I'm sorry, I didn't graduate high school. And then usually I'll write lyrics that I'm happy with.
So you're like, the T sound was speaking to you, the O sound was speaking to you.
Yeah.
And that guides the direction.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we hear on this track is things that you laid down, but it also goes to a whole finishing process. So where does it go from here?
Well, once I have one part of a song and I like it, like I just hear the rest of the song. Like if I have a verse, when I listen through the verse and then the verse ends and it's silent, like I just know where it needs to go. It's just like, that's the like simplest way for me to put it. So I was like, okay, chorus. It just made sense. And this is actually the like one of the only songs I've made where the verse chord progression is same as the chorus chord progression. And it was just because I was like, this is such a vibey feeling, the kind of atmosphere that I built over the verse. I was like, I don't want I hear a chorus, but I don't hear this ending yet. And like, for me, it's a big no-no to write a chorus with the same chord, it was a big no-no, with the same chord progression as the verse. It just like, I don't know. I thought it was lazy. But I don't think that's the case anymore. It's case by case.
What does the chorus demand of you if the chords are going to stay the same?
A different melody, a different rhythm.
Yeah.
And like you'll notice like the verse is one track.
Touch my body tender,
chorus, the lead vocal is 3 tracks. And then there's also harmony to the lead vocal, and then we bring back the ahs. So it's just about like kind of cheating it with the production, and then the vocal layering. I think it definitely helped make it feel like a different section.
So you trained classically at LaGuardia High School. You did a bunch of classical singing, and in many of your recordings, we get these sort of dual voices, right? Versus a lot of distortion, a lot of reverb. In your choruses, often a much purer tone, right? Head voice, big background vocals. Given the training that you did, which often requires like a certain style of performance, a certain purity of tone, is there a reason why you want to lean towards distortion or lean towards that more pure tone?
I feel like for me, distortion on a voice is almost like bringing in some of the emotion that I can't bring in with my voice. Like I want the listener to feel it even more, like trying to cut through, like you hear the way in some of my songs, the distortion's like it's just cutting through, and that's me, like, and I did all I can with my voice. I want it to feel more intense. I want you to I want to take it to that next level, and then when I bring you to the chorus, it's gonna be a beautiful stack of voices and harmonies and clean, no distortion. I feel like there's a very powerful one voice with all this distortion, and then 15 voices with none. Just a beautiful chorus. I think there's something beautiful about that.
An amazing contrast that it absolutely sets up. So this track is just you.
Yeah.
Most of your work is just you. You write, you produce, and we'll listen to some other tracks where you do collaborate on production with Tony Berg. You have some other session players that join you.
Yeah.
But you start off on your own, teaching yourself GarageBand, then Logic Pro, the sort of graduation of GarageBand.
Yeah.
How did you develop the sensibility for the style of music you're creating? How do you like to refer to it?
I call it alternative or alternative rock.
Okay.
And sometimes it's pop, but it's mostly alternative rock. Let's see. How did I develop? It's really weird. So I think I've always been alternative indie. And it goes as far as the artists I listened to, how I acted in high school, how I act today. All of my heroes are alternative except for a few exceptions.
Sure.
Just
explains the distortion on the vocal. Feels strokesy. All kinds.
Thank you.
If you're gonna sing alternative, you got to have some grit to the voice.
Yeah.
Okay, let's listen to another song. Can we go to? Let's listen to Undressed. So your early recordings, just you. Here we include production with Tony Berg, one of the great contemporary producers who's worked for decades, makes so much beautiful music. Tell me about the process of going from making something on your own to having it fully realized and produced out now.
Me and Tony just have like a special thing when we get in. We're like, Tony has been doing this, he's in his 70s. He's been doing this since he was in his, 20s. I think that dynamic, like someone that is like, so with the older ways of session players and a beautiful studio, Sound City, Nirvana, Fleetwood Mac, whoever the fuck else, Phoebe Bridgers, with those resources combined with my bedroom style and how I kind of came up, like most of the young producers that come up, from my generation, I think it creates a blend that you don't hear a lot. Because, so with Undressed, I built the drum loop, I built all the guitars that that you hear and the bass. And I recorded all the vocals, and then we get to go in with Tony, and then polish everything, add all the atmospheric stuff, like you hear the in the intro, like the weird like reverse guitar, and like then we build all these layers with the session players like Benny, who's I think the greatest keyboardist and sound designer living, and he plays all the synths under this stuff. And like a lot of it you don't even like notice when you listen, but it's just these layers that are kind of paired with the other instruments that just add so much more depth and make the instruments like so much bigger.
But why do it this way? Like,
Because it's better.
It makes you think of like, I've got this Bruce Springsteen film about the making of Nebraska. And Nebraska for Bruce Springsteen was this album where he's like, I'm not going to the power station. I'm making a record on a little tape deck in a hotel room. It's going to be the rawest thing possible. And for a lot of people, that's like the demo, right? And a lot of people take the demo and then go and completely redo it. And here you've kind of done this like hybrid method where it's like you've got your thing and you've got the big studio thing and you put them together. You could have re-recorded everything on the fanciest microphone on the planet with, every guitar you dream of and every amp you dream of in the studio.
Tony and I fight about that a lot. That's like the main thing we fight about. So I will go into the studio with the full vocal performance recorded on my TLM 103, which is like a $1,000 microphone at home. And he's like, get on the nicest microphone in the world. That's what he has in his studio with all this compression and all this stuff. And I disagree with him wanting me to do that, because we keep a lot of my bedroom elements in, is because the album that made me want to start making music for Sombr was Bon Iver's Forever Ago. Come on, skinny love, just let's sing it. That is a bedroom album with...
I think it was in a cabin,
maybe? In a cabin, yeah.
But
with imperfections.
Totally.
That is like the music that speaks to me so much, like the imperfect bedroom music, because I feel like it brings in a different emotion that a perfect studio recording doesn't bring. And Tony does a lot of perfect studio recordings that I love. I think he's one of the greatest living producers, if not the greatest. But my personal taste, I need the imperfection. I might crank the distortion a little too much on the verse, and a critic may not like it, but I don't care. I need that. That, like, it is important to me because it brings a different feeling to me that not everyone will understand, and that's okay.
So we need the rawness of the home recording, but the studio is also important.
Yeah.
What is that doing to the recording?
I think it makes it more musical. It makes sounds that you will never get, with VSTs and a laptop and plugins.
Yeah.
We don't use plugins in Sound City. So it's everything that's happening is real. A real compressor, a real reverb. It's that, and then it's the real instruments and real players with different ideas than me and Tony. We have like our great core that just does everything that I do. And I think having these guys, all of them with different ideas, makes for something special that we would have never made just us two or just me. And I think these guys are like the best of the best. And I think it takes it to another level.
Oftentimes when we're recording at home, we are being inspired by records that might have been made in giant spaces. One of the things I hear a lot in your recordings, especially in Undressed, is this giant 1960s wall of sound kind of quality. Phil Spector, Brian Wilson. Wouldn't it be nice if we were older, then we wouldn't have to wait so long. Deep reverb, everything all glued together. Tell me about your relationship to space.
I'm a child of reverb. I've been messing around on GarageBand since I was 10, probably. The first plugin I learned how to use was a reverb plugin. It started with Logic stock reverb, and then it developed to Valhalla Vintage Verb, which is my main reverb plugin now. And I have always just been gravitated towards a lot of reverb, usually too much reverb.
What does it do for you? What draws you to it?
Just back to that feeling thing that, some people might not like, but for me, a big reverb, makes what you're saying or playing last for another couple seconds and fade out. And it just makes my brain happy. I can't explain why. Like, either I want something to be really reverbed or completely dry.
Let's listen to 12 to 12.
Yeah. 12 to 12 is the best.
Total vibe shift.
Yeah. What's your favorite part about this song?
It's the vibe shift. What's my favorite part?
Yeah. Favorite element?
I'll get you.
Okay.
I do love that.
That's me.
What is that?
I can't tell you, because that's the sound I use on Undressed and this. And
Oh, it's a special sound to you.
yeah, it's not a synth.
Is it a kalimba?
I'm not telling you.
Well, you're not going to tell me?
No.
Will you tell me if I don't tell anybody else? Stop it.
Yeah.
What did you do?
I'm not telling you. I gave you everything. I gave you a lot.
We're in a different direction, right? Where disco, glam, rock, what pulled you into this kind of groove?
I think I started off making this song as a joke. I was like, I was just off the back of 2 big hits, Back to Friends and Undressed, which are alternative songs. And I was just messing around one night, and I made a disco drum beat, 4 on the floor, and I was like, it was like a joke. I was bored, and I started playing on my Korg Triton.
That's a throwback.
I use it on everything. I love it.
That's the keyboard that I always associate like Pharrell and Timbaland
Yeah,
and
me too.
like 2000s hip hop and all beat making. It's probably older than you are, and the sounds on it are
Great.
They're great, but they're cheap, bad replication of something else. But that's what makes them awesome.
Yeah, that's why I like cheap sounds.
Yeah,
and I think that that keyboard is like a time machine. It when you play it, it'll bring out different ideas out of you because of how it sounds and how it makes you feel, which is why I play it on everything, because it represents one of the decades that I wanna my music to feel like. So that's why it's so important to me.
so like 2000s indie and 2000s like party hip hop.
Yeah, both.
Huh?
Both.
What attracts you to that moment?
It's what I grew up on, and it makes me feel something, and I want to use it to make other people feel that thing.
It's interesting bridging those two worlds, because I don't think a lot of 2000s indie bands were using the Korg Triton. I think that was very much more in the hip hop beat making world, and so you're kind of fusing those two spaces together.
Yeah, because I love both.
Yeah.
I love some, but yeah, I picked up the Korg, and I was like, let me find the cheapest piano sound I can find.
Oh yeah.
And I just played the bum 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 bum.
Yeah.
And
Very reminiscent of the Korg previously had one of the biggest synthesizers of all time, the M1, and it had like all house music was the sound of that sort of poorly done piano sound.
Exactly.
And I think I'd have to fact check myself. I'm not sure if it's the same sound carried over to the Triton, but it is the sound of house music.
I know. I love it. And then I played the bass line. Boom, 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 boom. And I was like, oh, this is so good. This is so Daft Punk. This is so nostalgic. And by then, I'm like, I'm not joking anymore. This felt like, it gave me the feeling that like the 2000s and 2010s best pop gave me, which is all I ever want to do.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where the verse came out of me again, and the chorus came out of me again in the same night. And then I played that post-chorus, da-da-dun, da-dun, that you hear that same night as well. And by then I knew it was special.
Did you have Dua Lipa on your mind at all that evening?
No, but everyone compares it to Dua Lipa, so sick.
Don't show up, don't come out, don't start caring about me now.
Big track.
I see that one a lot.
The recordings are very enticing. There's some really neat sounds. We've got this Korg Triton. We've got that funky little sound.
Yeah.
One of the moments that really spoke to me was the way that, you think about a 4-to-the-floor dance track. Oftentimes you're going to have the same progression all the way through. It's about putting you in an entranced state, building layers. But this song takes a lot of turns in the final third.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if I can sort of pull up one of those moments. Chord change. Woo. Lovely little moment there.
Yeah.
Switches things up. It all of a sudden feels like a much more live song.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about how we go from, like little beat in Logic to producing this out to feel like, we're in like total disco land.
Yeah, so about that bridge, I told you how I write all my choruses and verses on, like, I make a beat. I'm writing it on a beat. But every time I get to a bridge, I'm a big fan of a great bridge that takes you to a different place for a little bit. So when I'm writing a bridge, I will sit down at my upright piano and I'll write the whole bridge there, no production, no anything. So that's what I did, and that's why all my bridges always will take.
Oh, so there's almost like shifting your mindset of like staring at the computer
Yeah.
and like building stuff in software and just going into an entirely different way of creating.
Yeah, because for me, the bridge always has to feel like gluing another song to that song in the same key, and then going back.
Interesting. You're making 12 to 12 at a point where you are broken out as an artist. You've had a bunch of hits. Some of your hits you literally made in the process of them blowing up.
Yeah.
What are some of those stories, and what is the feeling of that where it's like it's happening live as people are seeing you make it?
All my hits I made in the process of them blowing up, because I don't finish songs usually. Like I will post the chorus online.
Why do you do that? Is it because you have to? Do we have to feed the machine, or is it?
No, it's because I'm not, what I like doing is making something that I am really happy with, and then seeing if people want it now or later. And if I love being able to A/B test things, music. Like, when else could you do the A/B test music with people?
Are there songs where you're like, that one didn't hit, so you didn't finish producing it out?
Yeah.
Huh.
And I don't think everything I make is genius, but if I make some, actually I think, like, if I make a lot of stuff that I'm like, yo, this is the fucking shit. So I gotta find a way to filter that out.
So you make it in the process, you post stuff, and then all of a sudden you see people respond to it.
Yeah.
And what do you do next?
If I like the response, I'll finish it and I'll drop it.
Does it feel differently when you're producing first for yourself and then when you know it's already been heard and you have to complete it?
No.
It feels the same.
It's almost like, okay, there's demand for this. Now I can really show off and do whatever the fuck I want with this. It excites me. But 12 to 12 was the one song that I didn't test. That was the song that I made, and I was so passionate about that song. I was like, I'm not even gonna leak this or test it. I'm gonna make sure this works no matter what, at whatever cost.
It's working.
Thank you.
A lot has happened for you in a year. I know you've been working on this for years.
Yeah.
But there was a real turning point in 2025. You played the VMAs. You recently had the Taylor Swift bump. Sold out shows. How has this year felt like for you?
Unreal. I mean, this year I've done almost everything that seemed impossible and that I would watch other people do as a kid. I was able to bring out Sam Smith on stage, and there are countless videos of me singing Sam Smith songs as a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 14-year-old, and then I brought Sam out as my peer, and I sang with Sam, and that kind of broke the simulation for me. Like I feel like the best way to describe this year is it has broken the simulation. I've done the things that I thought were fake when I'm standing on the stage of the Jimmy Fallon, and I'm waiting for my cue, and I see Jimmy Fallon in the corner of my eye holding up my cover art and saying, and making his TV debut, Sombr, like those are one of those moments where you black out. It's like, this isn't supposed to happen to people, but it happened to me, and that's how I felt all year. And I'm so grateful.
I imagine it seems as though you've been grinding throughout the entire year. You've had this huge wave of initial success, and not just one hit, but 2, 3, multiple hits. At this moment, as we're recording, you're currently the #1 artist on the Billboard Songwriter chart. What do you feel like you need to do to keep growing into the music that you want to make next?
Keep following my gut with the songs I make, and not try to recreate a moment, or just always make something fresh.
Yeah.
And I think that's what 12 to 12 was.
Your name, Sombr, implies a certain emotional state, but perhaps 12 to 12 shows us that there are many emotions that we can explore. Do you feel that framing will always suit your project?
I think at this point, I feel like when I say the name Sombr, and when other people say the name Sombr, I don't even feel like I'm saying a synonym for sad. I feel like it just feels like a name that has kind of taken a different meaning, and it's like a band name that doesn't really mean anymore what the word they took meant. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it is for me.
Well, it's been so fun sharing this with you all.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on Switched on Pop. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.